Hi everyone, welcome back. This is my CamVac dust extractor. I put it on a very simple plywood wheeled base when I first got it. Now I didn't really think this through when I built it, but the issue that I've got is because there is no sort of handle or anything to hold this, when I'm wheeling this along the floor, when it hits a cable, you can see that I've got really no way to kind of pick it up. So today we are going to do hopefully a simple project, and that is just to fabricate a very simple handle that will go over the CamVac here. Now I could probably build this out of plywood, but honestly I'm really looking for any excuse to get some practice in with my new TIG welder. So we're just going to create a very simple U shape, which will be the main bracket, which will just bolt into the wood, and then we will just attach another support bracket, which will just add some triangle structure to it, which will bolt into this part here. So hopefully a simple project that I can get completed in a few hours. Let's get on with it. Here's a very simple sketch that I've made. I think I'll attach some angle iron to the bottom bit, so then I've got a little bit more material to actually fix into the plywood base. So this is what I'm thinking, just a little bit of angle iron. We'll just chop it off probably about here, leave us about 5 centimeters of material, so then we can screw this directly into the plywood base. So we finished the attachment holder here, so this will allow this to just sit in place. I still need something to hold this from falling over, and I also need a way to kind of store the hose. It's quite a big, cumbersome hose, and probably my only complaint with the CamVac is the hose that you get with it. It doesn't have any swivel heads on it, and it does mean that trying to kind of like bend and like roll up things is really annoying because it just doesn't swivel, so it just wants to kind of kink on you. Also, I need to make something to hold this in place still to stop it from falling over. So what I think I'm going to do is, I've got a piece of angle iron here. I think that what I'll do is weld just a bracket to this part here, and then I will 3D print just a gripper just to hold this in place. I think this will probably be the last bit of welding to do. Before we continue with the build, I just want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, PCBWay.com. They offer a huge range of services from PCB manufacturing to CNC machining and 3D printing in metal and exotic plastics. They can handle just about anything that a maker would require, and they offer low volume quantity orders, fast worldwide shipping and lead times, and you can get instant quotes for most of the services. So head over to PCBWay.com today and see what they can do for you. So there we go, I think I'm about finished now. This has taken me a little bit more than a few hours. It's taken me a few days to put this together. As you can see, I've stripped it all back to the bare metal with a wire cut brush. I think I'm probably just gonna leave it as it is, bare metal. If it starts to rust, then I will just give it a spray, maybe, I don't know, with some colored spray paint. But I actually quite like the look of the bare metal, and this is my first kind of proper welding project. So it's really nice to just see my welds. It's kind of like proof of my progression, and obviously I can see how bad they are, and obviously I'll be able to compare it in the future. Now, to be honest with you, some of my welds have actually come out okay. Yeah, I was put off from TIG for quite a while because everyone was saying the learning curve is very, very difficult. If I haven't found it that difficult, I'll show you some pictures of some of the best welds that I've got on here, and I think they look pretty good. Now, the biggest thing that has helped me with that and improving is probably getting that welding table. As you saw halfway through the video, I managed to pick this up secondhand. Yeah, it's much better working on a fixture table. More importantly than that though, it's getting comfortable. As they say with TIG welding, ABC, always be comfortable. That is the most important thing. And having the welding table and just being able to sit on a chair instead of just being in like an awkward position where things are too low and too high for me, just having it at like table height, being able to lean on the table so you can rest your hand, that is definitely where I got the best welds. So that's probably going to be my next big project, is to build some foldable legs for that welding table, and I want a permanent welding setup in this shed now. I've really enjoyed welding, and I can definitely see the appeal of it. Previously I was going to just have it as a kind of like a portable setup, something I wouldn't be using, but I can really see myself using welding in pretty much all of my kind of like fabrication projects. It's really refreshing to just be able to stick things to metal, even like this, for instance, the cable management. You know, previously I would have had to have like designed something in Fusion, I would have 3D printed it, I would have had to drill holes, you've got to think about the clearance for the holes, where you're going to put them. It's so refreshing and so much quicker to literally just be able to bend a little bit of rebar and then just stick it to the metal. TIG welding has been really enjoyable. I absolutely love doing it. And as I said in my last video of the review of the hitbox, being able to get just kind of access to this type of technology and these processes for so cheap is really, really good. I mean, I haven't really had any issues with that so far. Now, thankfully, I got this finished today because I have just run out of argon gas, and that's another thing that I just want to quickly talk about. I bought the smallest gas bottle from Hobby Weld. I think it's 9.5 or 8 litres, and it's at 135 bar. It lasts you a few hours, and the cost of it per litre is very, very expensive. My biggest advice for anyone that is starting out with like TIG welding is to buy the biggest bottle you can possibly find, because the price per litre really does reduce once you get into the bigger size gas bottles. The next one I'm going to order is going to be a significant investment, but in the long term, I'm going to be saving so much in argon. The biggest bottle that I can get in the UK is from Adams Gas, and it is I think it's a 50 litre, I believe it's at 200 bar. Now that's going to cost me about £350. Half of that is just for the initial purchase of the bottle, and then the other half is for the gas. And then going forward, I think it's about 160 to 180. Obviously, it depends on where you are and the actual supplier for a refill, which is really going to bring down the cost, because the smallest Hobby Weld bottle is about 4 times, maybe 5 times more expensive per litre. So don't make the mistake that I've done, because I spent all this money renting this gas bottle. Now I've got to send it back, and I'm going to be buying a bigger one from a different company. I'm going to lose, I think it's like £25 you lose in like the admin and collection fee for the gas bottle, which is a little bit annoying. So this comes together really nicely. I'm just really happy that I've actually finally got a space where I can actually do welding and I can do fabrication and things in metal, because it's definitely probably one of my favourite kind of things to do is just working in metal. So stay tuned for some more fabrication projects. I've got to order a gas bottle, I've got to order some metal, and I'm going to be building the foldable legs for the welding table. I've also got a big purchase coming, which is a milling machine coming from China, and I'm going to be fabricating a stand for the milling machine as well. So those are going to be the 2 big welding projects. And then next to me, I've got all of these sheet materials that are taking up this entire wall of this shed, which is really annoying because I'm just losing all of this storage space. So another project will be to build a storage cart for all of my scrap wood, because I want to get this outside, so it's going to have to be weather resistant, and it needs to be sturdy enough. So that's probably going to be, I'll probably make that out of metal. It depends on the prices of things. So that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Please give me feedback on the look of these welds and where I'm going wrong. You can have a look at some of the pictures. I'll be posting them up at the end of the video. So any feedback is always welcome. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you all later.